Welcome back to Roundball. We have myself, Hunter Dickinson, Dukes on tonight. I think Jordan is just really sick. The man, or I don't know what, he's just not. He hasn't answered. When's the last time he's answered the chat? A long time. He was answering last night.
He commented about Penn State before the game. He talked about them. He talked about Iowa.
And then today
this is Jordan Bohannon. This is not me, Iowa fans. Iowa is in shambles right now.
I think that's just true.
Yeah, I mean, good. Want to touch on that first, but obviously the news came out.
Wait 1 sec. Let me. This podcast.
Oh, right.
This podcast is presented by High Noon Hard Seltzer. It's real vodka, real juice, presented by real people. It is the best hard seltzer out there. You can go to any store, any liquor store, because you can only buy them at liquor stores because it's real vodka. It's none of that malt nonsense of those stupid other drinks that aren't good. You know they're not good. You just did it because it was kind of cool and it doesn't hurt your stomach. High Noon is the best drink out there. I love the black cherry. They got so many different flavors now. Like they got peach, they got mango, passion fruit, they got watermelon. They have so many. Make sure you go out there, go watch a Michigan game, go watch a Duke game, go watch a Dayton game, and have your High Noons at every single bar or your house. And a special tip, put it on ice. Put it on ice in a cup. It is delicious, but the can is also cool. It's the best drink out there. The Roundball Podcast, this episode is presented by High Noon. Dukes was just touching on it real fast. He's a friend of the program and an actual friend, I think, of all of ours. And I texted him. Patrick McCaffery took a leave of absence from Iowa from the program. He came out to say that he has crippling anxiety and it is affecting his play, his personal life, his team, and everything. And I think to be honest, I think it's pretty big of him. The guy's been through a lot. I mean, the fucking kid had cancer and he beat that. I think it's big of him to come out and say, because he could have honestly been personal matters. He could have said family matters, anything. But he was straight up, told everyone, listen, I got anxiety and it's fucking with me. It's fucking with my head. It's fucking with my play. It's fucking with everything. And I don't know. I commend him. I know him. I texted him. He said, and we had a good conversation. He's a good kid. And I think he's been through a lot. And I think it's commendable for him to come out and say that. And I hope the best for him.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's pretty freaking brave. I mean, like you said, Marty, you could have said so many different things, but when somebody's going through something like that, it's real. This, people always think of basketball players as, just solely basketball players, but these guys are, people too at the end of the day. And so, he's a person that has, stuff that he goes through. And so, like you said, he's gone through so much already. I'd sent a tweet saying I'm rooting for him. I've had a couple interactions with Pat through camps and stuff like that. Obviously, we played him, when we play Iowa and stuff like that. Great kid. Everybody that I know that knows Pat says only good things about him. And so I think I can say it for everybody when I say, we're all rooting for Pat. Hope he gets back on the court. Can't wait to play against him very soon.
Yeah, I think major respect for Pat. I mean, coming out, I think a lot of people can sympathize with what he's going through. And, everyone's got something going on. I mean, you're looking at a kid that probably lives and breathes Iowa basketball, grew up wanting to play for his dad and at Iowa. He wants to be out there more than anything. But you got to take care of yourself first. And very, very commendable of Pat. Take care of himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's big to put it on the internet. The internet doesn't take anything well. And, I mean, if you know him, he's fucking awesome.
Yeah, the man.
We went to Iowa last year. He's the man, is funny as shit. Obviously, Jordan knows him better, and I wish he was here to say something, but he's just shout out, Pat. I hope he's all right. Leave the
You know what?
fucking kid alone. Don't talk to him about
Yes.
basketball. Don't ask this. If he needs help, he's going to ask. He's fine. He will be fine. He's going to take care of himself, and this is what he needs to do.
The internet's a really bad place, but I've seen everybody kind of rally around him and show support. But I got to say, there's got to be probably at least one loser out there that's like, well, like, is this going to like affect the team or something along those lines? Where I can't think of a more selfless thing than being like, hey, like, I'm hurting the team right now.
Yeah,
by being on the floor. Let me remove myself so like I'm not a distraction or whatever. Like this is the most selfless thing for his teammates, taking care of himself. And we just hope we can see him on the court sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
just
knowing you're messing with your team, and instead of trying to just play through it, because a lot of guys would, like a lot of people would. A lot of guys probably just try and put it down and like, I'll figure it out. It's like, no, figure it out now before it gets worse, and it's just going to keep getting worse. So good for him. I'm happy for him that he at least acknowledged the problem and is getting it taken care of. Hope he's back sooner than later.
Yep.
All right. I mean, big week. We were talking to the first place Michigan Wolverines player, Hunter Dickinson, 3-0. Are you tied for first with the team you called Scumbags?
Oh, they're also undefeated?
I think they're 3-0 as well.
They actually have Wisconsin above you guys
in the standings, which is messed up.
That's fine.
But yeah, explain. I mean, listen, you don't have to go in depth about Penn State today, but you guys were pretty much at rock bottom. You lost to one of the worst teams in the country. And then all of a sudden you rattle off a 40-point win against Maryland and beat Penn State by 10. And Penn State is good. Jalen Pickett is for real. I mean, even against you guys, he was for real. What do you think has changed?
Yeah, I think that losing to Central Michigan might have been the biggest, help for our season.
Wake up call?
Yeah. Like the biggest thing that we could have done, honestly, like the best thing for us was probably to lose that game in hindsight. Like, yeah, I don't care. Like that wake up call was extremely helpful for us. Like, obviously you can see just how we're playing differently now. Like we're playing with a sense of urgency. We're playing like we need to get as many wins as possible if we're going to turn this thing around. And we've done a damn good job so far. I mean, 3-0 in the Big Ten, you can't be better than 3-0 right now.
That's facts.
And so for us, it's just taking it one game at a time, man. Like it's very cliche, but it's like there's a reason why everybody says it. It's because it's like, bro, you can't look ahead. Like when you try to do the wins and losses, like you try to check some wins and check some losses, like it's just impossible because it's like each game is its own entity in a way. It's like you don't know how the other team's going to play. Like the other team could come out and shoot 10 for 10 for 3 or go out and just lay an egg. And so for us, I mean, obviously this was a big game for us because like we wanted to see how we were going to react after a huge win at Maryland. Like it's one thing to play really good for a game, but to have that sustained success is like super, super hard. And so for us to come out and win was really huge because just to go out there and show the country that it wasn't a fluke.
That's
Maryland.
What I was going to ask you because like there is fluke games. Everyone, it just is. Some one team might be off and the other team, you guys didn't really miss against Maryland. And Penn State's a team where like it's almost a team you don't want to play after maybe a fluke game because they are good. They're frisky. They're physical. Like they're a team that you just don't really feel like playing because they're good. They're a good team then. But you guys came out. It was close. It was close for a little bit, and then you kind of ran away, and then you beating them, I think, shows the sign that you guys are a good team. There's no denying that you're a good team.
Yeah, like they're just so well coached. Like Coach Shrewsbury, I'm a huge fan of. I think
you do love him. You talk very high.
You talk a lot about
him.
At one point we
get him
thought
on the podcast.
At one point we thought.
I know I messed up. I was talking to him pregame. Like the head coach is like never out like he was out there like just chilling like 60 minutes before the game. And so I went up to him and just like I spoke to him about some, and I totally forgot to ask about the pod. I felt like an idiot.
This guy always forgets about the podcast.
I would love to have him on the pod just to talk about his experiences. But he's a great coach, and the team he built is kind of like, it's pretty smart because it's like you have a player who is ball dominant in Pickett. He basically runs the offense, but they just surround him with like 4 shooters.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't help off him, because if you help off him, you're helping off of Funk, who's like a 40+% 3-point shooter. Lundy's like a 38% 3-point shooter. Like these guys, Dredd, my guy Miles Dredd, and then Withers, point guard from transfer from Drexel. Like these guys are great shooters, and so he's got a really unique build of a team. But I mean, they're going to be dangerous. They're frisky as hell, like Marty said.
Yeah, I think they're a tournament team.
They definitely are.
He's turning it around, man. He's turning that program around.
I wanted to say this when you're talking about the Central Michigan loss, and obviously you want, if it's an ideal world, you want Michigan to go undefeated, but like there's some losses that happen in college basketball where you look in retrospect that bring a team together, especially a program like Michigan that's not used to a loss like Central Michigan. Like you got Jet Howard probably experiencing like a loss. I mean, you experiencing a loss like that for the first time brings a locker room together, can really be a wake up call. So like, yeah, like the only thing you can really do now is just keep the momentum going. Conference play is conference play. Like you know better than anyone. Like this is when tournament and seedings shake out.
We talk about this team a lot, but Gonzaga, right? Like when they go undefeated and shit. I know it sounds stupid because sometimes there's people say it's like there's good losses. Let me tell you, the Central Michigan's a bad loss no matter which way you shake it, but you cannot get lower than where you guys were at. So you guys know that feeling. Where a team, if you're just keep winning, obviously it's great, but you don't know how it feels to have that loss and you never want it to happen again. So I think that's where you guys had that. And it's weird to like say it's a good loss, but it helped you guys. And you'd rather get that loss out of the way instead of losing to a Minnesota or someone in the conference where it's like in February where you really need to win. Like I think you guys are playing with that sense of urgency where you're like, that's not happening again. We were not going to play like that ever again.
Yeah, it's super simple. Like the season could have went one of 2 ways after the loss. It's like we could have either went our own ways and been like, screw it, the season's over. We just lost to Central Michigan, a mid-major team, when we're a Power 5 team. And it's like, how are we expected to compete in the Big Ten when we can't even beat an in-state opponent? It could have went like that and everybody could just gave up and, we could have been like, screw it. Or, that just makes you come together even more. It's like, yo, we got to band together. We got to do this thing. Like, we really got to come together and look ourselves in the mirror and be like, yo, like, do we want to win or do we want to just pack it up and go home? And I mean, as of right now, man, what we've been doing is just trying to build brick by brick, and just game by game.
Viva.
Viva.
Yeah, man, just taking it one game at a time. Got a big one coming up.
We'll get to that game coming up right after we finish with Penn State. But, yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I was going to say to you. This win was impressive to me, too, because what did you have, 17, 16?
17-7, I think.
17-7, like that's a good game for everybody, no matter what it is. But I didn't think you played your best game. I think that you started a little slow, then you got a little rhythm, and then you didn't dominate, but you played well. Like it wasn't like you played bad. But that shows me that your teammates, like I think Buffkin's been playing very, very well. Jet's been great, but Joey Baker hitting 6 of his threes tonight. Him shooting 6 threes is huge for you guys. Like him being a threat opens you up inside so much, and your other guards, like that is such an X factor, I think, which if he can come off the bench like that, I think is huge. But yeah, I mean, listen, you're 3-0 in the fucking Big Ten. I don't know what else to say. It's fucking awesome. But yeah, you did beat the worst team in the conference, definitely on the road. You have 2 home wins. 2 big home wins, but now you go on the road in it's going to be a very, very hostile environment. Last thing, when you bled today, was it like, what the fuck was you just? It almost looked like you bit on like a fake blood thing, and it was just so much blood everywhere.
Yeah, that was the most I've ever bled, I think, honestly. Like it was pretty crazy. So I blocked the shot from number 3, and he like kind of like hit me in the face. And it's like it kind of hurt in the moment, but it kind of went away. And like I checked, we went down and I think we scored. And like I checked my nose and like it was blood. I was like, oh crap, like my nose is gonna be bleeding. So crap. Like I gotta like hopefully I can try to get the ref to like stop the game real quick so I can get a plug in my nose and keep playing. But like the play kept going, so I had to like just like screw it. Okay, forget the nose. If it bleeds, it bleeds, and we'll just try to get it. And thankfully, like it wasn't bleeding that bad at first, and the play stopped. And like I got a little blood on me, but no, I didn't get any blood on me. Like it was not really going crazy. And so he put a plug in my nose. I'm like, okay, bet I'm good. I'm ready to go. And then I get back on the court, and like I touch my like. We run a play and I touch my nose and it's like dripping like heavy. And I'm like, oh crap. So I turn to the ref when like we're running back on defense. I turn to the ref and like, yo, like stop. And he was talking to Shrewsbury, so he didn't hear me. And I'm just like, oh crap. So now I got to try to play. And so I just felt it like dripping down my nose. And like every time like I couldn't breathe through my nose. So I had to breathe through my mouth. Every time I breathed, it would just spit blood. It was the craziest thing ever. And like I had to go like a whole possession of just dripping blood, and I was like I can't stop playing. I gotta keep playing. So yeah, and then we got over to the bench, and it was just nonstop blood. Like it felt like like there was like a blood packet, and I just like opened it up and just sprayed it everywhere. It kind of did take me off my game a little bit because it's like I totally like forgot about the game. Like, oh my gosh, this nose just won't stop bleeding. But then once I got back in, I had to refocus. It was crazy. Like it was honestly like I've had way worse like injuries to my nose, and like stuff is way worse, and it's just never bled like that ever. It was crazy.
That's wild. It was a lot of blood. You were spitting it all out. All right. So very, very, very hostile environment you're going into on Saturday, 2:30. Do you like 2:30 start?
2:30 is definitely better than the noon. The
noon's brutal.
The noon is the worst because you gotta wake up like 6 a.m. 2:30, not bad, not a bad time. The ideal is like 4. If you're gonna go on the weekend, like 4 is the ideal. Weekdays obviously like 7. You're not really gonna get much better than that. But on the weekends, like 4 to 5 is like 4 for me is the best because it's like you don't have to wake up crazy early, and then after the game it's like 6:37, so you still have like the night.
Yeah.
The noon is the worst though. Man, I hate the noon.
But 2:30 is not bad.
2:30 it's a solid start time.
And there's football on at 4, so like people will be watching your game. That's at least.
Does it even matter though, like the start time in a game like this? Or you're just like ready to go when you wake up? Like I feel like.
Oh, I was ready for this game like 4 months ago. But like, yeah, I mean, this game won't really matter. We could play it at like 3 a.m. Be fine. But
so how are you like preparing to go into this? You're gonna do all your prep. You're gonna watch film. People are going to absolutely hate you there.
Yeah, what are you gonna do when everyone cheers your name when your name's called?
Yeah. So first of all, like it's kind of weird for me being in my 3rd year now because it's like I feel like I know like when we play non-conference, like I have to take this like I have to really lock into the scouting report like extra because I've never seen these players play before, and like I really don't know anything about like Virginia players like and their tendencies and stuff like that, like Central Michigan or Ohio. But once we get to Big Ten play, and it's like these teams have all these older guys that I've played against for 2 years now, it's like I feel like I already know everything about them, and they know everything about us. And so it's weird because it's like I'm watching film, like I already know all this stuff. But yeah, no, we'll go through film. We'll probably watch before we actually play a game, we usually watch about like 4 hours of film, like probably like 4 hours of film in a 2-day span. So it's pretty heavy, but yeah, once I get to the game and I come out, Michigan State fans they do a really good job of getting there early. So like once I come out at like the 60-minute mark or so, they'll be out there full force and ready. Hopefully, I get a little standing ovation when I come out there. I'm saying
they're gonna clap for you.
I think they probably should clap for me. Like,
they love you, no?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like they have a lot of respect for me. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna fucking hate you so much.
They respect the hell out of me, man. They probably get invited to like somebody's house after the game, for dinner or something like that.
Yeah, no, they definitely will. They really are going. I wonder, probably some gruesome shit they're gonna say to you. Which honestly, I feel like you are going to do so much better in that environment. They're going to obviously they're going to triple team you, quadruple team you as much as they can. They're going to try and fuck with you on that court, play upbeat as much as they can, and you're gonna miss some shots, and then they're gonna go nuts. But I don't know, knowing you, when you really, really want to go out a team, it seems, and I'm not saying like, listen, you can have a bad game. We all know that. I don't want you making predictions. There's nothing. I'm not.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
You are focused on them.
Michigan fans that are watching the podcast, do not worry. I am not falling into that trap. I need every ounce of good juju going into this game.
I'll make a prediction. Michigan State 70, Michigan 64.
Say that again.
Michigan State 70, Michigan 64.
So you're predicting. Oh, so Hunter, I just want to make sure you know this. This is Dukes making sure that people don't say he's gargling your balls.
No.
I appreciate Dukes essentially betting against me. I appreciate him.
Extra
motivation. Here's what I'll actually say, because I don't really have a feeling towards this game, but I will say this will be a great test for your guards.
Yeah.
This will be a great test for your guards. They have great guard play.
AJ and Walker
those are both of them.
And
then also, people don't know, Hunter obviously had the Michigan State hate going into this, but my Michigan State hate originated because I had to take that Joey Hauser has never played a good basketball game in his life. I was like, he went to Michigan State and never played a good basketball game when the lights shine bright. And I think it was during the Champions Classic. Who did they play? Kentucky, I want to say. Yeah, in Kentucky. He had the game of his life. I tweeted it. He was 0 for 2 and just didn't miss after.
Yeah, you say you've never seen him hit a 3.
And he had the best. He's having probably his best season at Michigan State this year.
So, Dukes, you need to predict Joey Hauser to have a good game.
Dude, Joey Hauser doesn't miss. Champa, quote that. Put this out. Joey Hauser right now is probably top 3 best player in the Big Ten. Does not miss. And I think he's going to be a real big problem for Michigan come Saturday.
So who's there?
Now Michigan State clip that. Now Michigan State's going to be having aneurysms.
Who's their big man?
Duke, you're going to mess them all up now. They're not going to know what to do. Wait, we hate this guy, but he's saying something I like.
Yeah. Wait, Champ, clip this one together too. And if you're going to look at the guard play, they easily have the 2 probably best guards in the Big Ten. That's Michigan State.
What's going on here?
Marty, you don't get it. They're not going to listen. They're not going to listen to the podcast. They're going to listen to these clips.
Michigan State fans are.
They're not going to listen to the pod. They'll just see these clips out. The true listeners, they'll get the joke that we're doing.
Only
yes.
Michigan is better educationally, so they'll listen, but Michigan State won't, obviously.
The true listeners will get what we're doing.
I want to jump in, Dukes, and add to the sarcasm, but if I say something good about Michigan State, it's only going to
don't say anything, please.
So it's only going to get clipped.
Just don't say anything. You're focused on them. You will talk. If you win, you will talk your shit after the game. If you lose, you will talk. You're going to have to talk about the game no matter what.
Oh, I'm a man of honor. I'll talk if we lose.
Yeah, so that's because that will be worse for you if you didn't. But I'm excited for it. I'm going to be sitting my fat ass on the couch watching that game, and I can't wait. And
Yeah. You know what? Is I'm starting to notice something with you, Marty. By the way, I'm starting to wonder when are you going to flip the Duke jersey out for a Michigan one because your Blue Devils are bad.
Oh, Marty, man,
I think come Saturday, like the Fab Five, like Duke, Michigan, I think you're just going to switch over to Michigan.
I was just talking to Champ about this. It's so bad. Like I was watching Duke tonight, and it was. I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on, and I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something that I'm gonna regret soon. I think we got a coaching problem.
Wow, he's not faking enough injuries.
We had the best coach in the world, a man that's an Army man, best coach in the world, and I think we took it for granted. I think it's very hard to coach in this league. And I think this team specifically is hard to coach because there's not that one guy on the team they don't have a Paolo Banchero. They don't have a Zion. They don't have an RJ Barrett. They don't have these one guy. This is a full team, you know? And like Jalen Blakes is starting now. And it's like, we can't be relying on Jalen Blakes because he doesn't do this all the time, and he sucked tonight. He was good last game. Filipowski is doing as much as he can. There's a person that I just don't understand. Derek Lively. What the fuck? I was told so many good things about this guy. He's a great rim protector. Great rim protector. Tonight, we got fucking Ryan Young is our best big man now. Derek Lively is supposed to be the best player in the country. He's the number one recruit. Where have you seen him play, guys?
I saw them play Kansas.
He didn't play that game. He didn't play. He was hurt, so he didn't play that game. But he's been starting lately, and he played 12 minutes today and had 1 point.
Yeah,
that's not good. And the person that needs to keep
box score right now,
the guy that needs to keep coming is Derek Whitehead. He's really good, but he's been coming off the bench because he was hurt. But it has not. Mark Mitchell isn't doing anything. Jeremy Roach was 0 for 8 today. 0 for 8.
I'm looking at this box score. It's looking rough.
It was bad. I have nothing good to say, and it was an embarrassing loss today.
I did want to call, though, Ryan Young being a very good player for you. I actually want to call that.
Ryan Young's great. He's got heart. Dukes, you're muted, by the way.
Sorry, I was looking. Marty, I just want to say, like, I just think that, like, any team that's kind of got their shit rocked by NC State this year, let's just, like, forget about it. Because, like, Dayton got their shit rocked from NC State. Duke got their shit rocked from NC State. Let's just, like, throw it out the window. Clean slate. They're good. They're low key. They're sneaky.
No, they are. That's the thing. Like the ACC is getting a kind of bad rap right now, where like people are saying they're the worst Power 5 conference.
I kind of agree. That's actually a pretty good point.
It's them or Big East.
I don't.
No, the Big East. The Big East. I mean,
is the Big East that bad?
No, but the ACC isn't that bad either. That's why it's Power 5. Like, I just think that the Big 12 is the best. I think I've changed my stance. The Big 12 is the best. SEC, Big 10, ACC, or Big East. But like, dude, the ACC, what?
Me? I just make weird faces.
Oh, okay. I thought I said something stupid. I was like, I thought I named all the conferences.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, NC State is not, dude. They are 12-4. They've lost to Miami and Pitt, Pitt is turning out to be like really good. I guess. I don't know what's going on. They
Might be a
you
quad one win for somebody.
they beat Virginia and UNC back to back.
Yeah,
Like,
I am a fan.
and that makes me happy. Jeff Capel. I think he's a good coach, and I think that his head was going to be on a stick after this year if they sucked, and he's turned that around. But yeah,
please keep winning, Jeff. Please keep winning.
no, Duke. I mean, Duke's 11-4. They're going to be completely fine. They play Boston College on Saturday. They'll beat the shit out of them, and then they play.
What if you lose that game, Marty?
Are you lose to Boston College?
You pressing the panic button?
If we lose Boston College, I will officially be a Michigan fan.
It's almost like losing to Central Michigan.
I will be a Michigan fan and not talk about Duke or watch a game if they lose to Boston College.
Dude, I want Boston College to be good again.
Yeah, they ain't gonna be. But yeah, that's enough about Duke because that was fucking depressing.
They won today. I saw that.
Dude, I'm not like. Give me 30 seconds. Like,
here's your 30 seconds.
The floor is open.
We are so fucking dangerous. We are so back. You could put us against any team in the country right now, and I think we'd win. Like, beginning of the season, we sucked. Our team is finally gelling together, and we're missing our 2 starters. If we get an 11 seed, we're making the Final Four. Like, I'm fully back on. We might go undefeated in conference play. Our conference sucks this year. It's crazy. We're winning the entire thing. Going to Florida next week. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, Dukes. I truly believe I want you. Like, yeah, you are just the most hardcore Dayton fan I've ever met in my life.
Because he's the only Dayton fan you ever met.
Dude, we're sneaky bunch.
Well, like you go hard for Dayton. I respect it.
I mean, people like that's when like give me 20 more. That's why I get mad when people are talking about fucking being a Michigan fan. It's like, dude, I watched like the end of the game when he made a nice kick out pass. I was like, I was in the trenches watching Dayton to a 20-point victory over St. Joe's. Like, I wasn't even thinking about Michigan or Michigan State. Like, I have to deal with St. Louis Billikens. I have to deal with Tory VCU on Twitter. Like, I've been to battle with VCU and St. Louis. Like, I don't have time for Michigan State.
It is actually very funny. Like, people think we care about Michigan State, where I'm a Duke fan and you're a Dayton fan. Like, I've never cared. Like, Duke has played Michigan State a lot in the tournament, but like, I've never really cared about them.
I've actually this is how crazy I've thought about the scenario of Dayton playing Michigan State in the tournament, and I've legitimately already like half celebrated, like an ups, like just like got like giddy. That would be the happiest I've been in my life.
Let's touch on a couple games here that happened. A lot has happened. I don't want to make this too long of a podcast. Today, TCU with a hell of a win against Baylor. Baylor's on a little bit of a skid. TCU kind of struggled. I know they got a lot of hype early, and they kind of struggled early, and then they've been back as of now. And TCU with a great win to end the game. But Keontae George is really fucking good. That if he plays like that, Baylor's going to be a lot harder to beat because sometimes it's honestly only him, it seems like. Did you guys watch the game? I know you didn't, Hunter, but it seems like it really just goes through him. No?
No, he's the go-to guy for them. I think fucking Flagler does not miss, though. I think that, like, I love their backcourt with him and LJ Cryer. Cryer, I feel like, hasn't been as good lately, but Flagler, I think, is unbelievable.
Flo Thamba will shoot 3 times a game. That's it. I know that's his role, defense, but it's just like he'll just only. But Flagler struggled today, but George was unbelievable. But for TCU, I mean, the crazy thing is that TCU was 3 of 14 from 3, and they won this game 88-87.
Miles had like 33 points.
Yeah, Miles was 12 of 21, 3 of 7 from 3, 33 points. Outrageous stat line. Good for him. But yeah, TCU is someone to keep an eye on. I'm not sold on both of those teams though, as like a national championship team.
Yeah, I don't think national championship. I think that I think that Baylor's behind on defense, but I do think that does JTT come back for Baylor though? Jordan, I don't even want to try Jordan Chumaj Chachua.
I know what you're saying.
I know you're.
Because he
What was his injury?
He like tore his ACL last year, I think. He was out for the season last year or for the tournament. He's a difference maker. Like they have to play Flo Thamba more because he's out, and I think that he changes everything for that team. Like he's the X factor. He's the glue guy that they're missing, especially on the defensive end. So like that's why I'm withholding from being like, because it's like now we're inching towards February where it's like, all right, now we're reaching like the year point. Like you've been out for a year. How much metal is in your knee?
Yeah,
so I don't
know. Couple other games going today. Arkansas beat Missouri. I thought that was a great win for Arkansas because Missouri's been hot. Arkansas also, Nick Smith still did not play this game. And that's ginormous. And I thought Missouri's I'm not sold on them. I'm just not. And they played really well against Arkansas today, but and they have good wins. I'm just not a Missouri fan. You don't care. I'm with no answer. I think
Kobe Brown's really good. I think their offense is very good. I don't like
Missouri has one of the best assistant coaches in the country. CY is like he's the funniest coach I've ever been around. He was at Florida State when I was getting recruited, and they were one of my top schools. He's one of the he is one of the funniest coaches, Marty, I've ever met. He's just hilarious. Anybody that's been around him and played for him will agree that he's the funniest.
What was your top schools?
Michigan, Florida State, Duke, Notre Dame.
Damn.
Oh my God, man. I would have fucking came if you went to Duke.
Yeah.
But let's round up some of these games. Providence, fucking unbelievable. I love Providence. Love Providence. I think they are What?
Go.
You said
keep
it?
going. No, keep going. Keep going.
I think they're fucking legit, bro. First of all, how did Cal let him leave?
We were talking about the Jacob Toppin. We talked about this last episode, but like it was Jacob Toppin or him, and like we were saying like Bryce kind of needs the ball more. And I mean, when he gets the fucking ball, he gets 15 shots a game. He goes 50%. Went to the free throw line like 17 times tonight. Dude, he is a fucking beast.
Bryce Hopkins, it's crazy that he
far and away the best player in the Big East.
But that's where I love the transfer portal because he's not this player on Kentucky this year. If he's still there, it's just not. He's not getting the minutes probably. He goes to Providence, becomes a star player, and his stock is so high right now. Like he's dirty, and this is a Providence team that's like they played fucking physical and they beat up UConn, beat them up.
It's all transfers. You got like Noah Locke from Louisville, Devin Carter from South Carolina, Bynum, who was a sixth man of the year in the Big East last year, and he hasn't been playing well for Providence, which is the craziest part. Like
I like the South Carolina kid.
Yeah, like Bynum, when he gets hot and he gets going, it was like people were like, he was the best player in Providence last year going into the tournament. So he's only shooting 24% from three. So like when he gets going, it's like how dangerous can this team be? Double team Bryce. I mean, I fucking love Providence. If I could switch my pick live right now, that's my team. I think if I had top three in the Big East, it's them, Xavier, UConn. Like in some order.
Providence. I mean, it starts with coaching. Like they got a really good coach, and he's been able to. Some coaches are having trouble with meshing all the talent that they got from the transfer portal, and he's done a great job so far of getting all those pieces to fit because it's so hard trying to get guys who are just coming to your program as older, mature guys, and they're expecting a certain thing. It's super hard to try to get them to buy into playing team basketball, but he's done a really good job. And I mean, a big win against a really good UConn team, a really deep UConn team. Pretty impressive.
Yo, were you recruited by Bayline?
Yeah, Beeline. Yeah, I was recruited by Beeline.
So, do you know about the Kool-Aid and Michigan rumors? Before Juwan or like now?
The Kool-Aid and Michigan rumors?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
That was like what I was making a point that like he could. I think Cooley right now is the best coach. Like Providence has the chance to be the team in the Big East, like the next mainstay because of their continuity at head coach. Like he had this chance to go to a.
Oh, you said Cooley. I thought.
Yeah, Ed Cooley.
Kool-Aid. Yes. No.
You say
No, I
Kool-Aid?
totally remember. Yeah, I thought you said Kool-Aid.
Nah, I mean
Kool-Aid.
we could talk Kool-Aid.
I like Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Kool-Aid. I feel like it's just straight sugar water.
Exactly.
Well, sure. That's why we love it.
Yeah.
But like
I got this fat face.
No, I'm not really a big fan of Kool-Aid. But yeah, no, I do remember those allegations, and I knew they were like I knew he was never going to go there because I think I talked about it when we interviewed him. Like,
yeah,
when I visited there, and like he really loves Providence. He grew up there and everything. He's never like I don't think he's ever going to leave. He tried to say never, but he's never going to leave Providence. And so, like I knew he was never going to go to Michigan. Like I just knew he was doing it. He was probably doing it to probably get a little bit more money from Providence.
100%. That's all it was.
But I mean, yeah, I knew he wasn't going to go there.
I've talked about this a lot last year, but Georgetown has lost 25 straight Big East games.
Regular season
Because they won the conference.
Yeah.
But that I think 100% I'm right on this. Kids don't give a fuck about him being the coach. They just don't. I don't think that it's how old were these kids when he was playing?
Not born.
Like,
dude. It's like me and Hunter's age. You're old, but it's like me and. But like, dude, even like I'm a little bit older than Hunter. It's like, dude, I don't like if Pat Ewing was recruiting me when I was 18 years old, I'd be like, dude, I don't give a fuck. Like
the fact that you're older than Hunter is wild.
Because he's so much more mature than me.
Oh yeah.
Like mentally and emotionally.
Champ is older than Hunter.
I appreciate you guys making me feel young when Twitter calls me the oldest person ever. Like the Wisconsin people.
What are you, 21?
I'm all for a good meme about myself from somebody, but the meme of me, like
the old one was weird.
Yeah, the one where I'm in the Michigan jersey and I'm all gray and white, like
you're like tatted up too.
That was I thought that just wasn't a good meme.
No, that one I actually weirdly because I don't like memes. I never do. But that one made me was like that one doesn't. I thought it was like a person that you're not. What are you, 21?
20. I just turned 22. Like.
Oh yeah, so happy birthday. Yeah, that's just a normal.
Damn, you're old.
Yeah, no, I was like, okay, like I'll laugh at a good meme about me. Like I take it zero personally at all. Like I could not care less about it. Like you will not hurt my feelings. But that one was just not good. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. But do you agree with me though? Like Patrick Ewing, like, yeah, you hear the name. It's like, yeah, he's great basketball player. Good, great. Him fucking recruiting people, that's not getting people. Like Deion Sanders, yes, that is going to get people to go to a school 100% because he has AI would be unbelievable.
Dude, at Georgetown too?
Oh my God.
Dude, Pat Ewing should get
AI is not coaching anywhere.
No, he ain't coaching shit.
Imagine him as like a special advisor.
Yeah, but dude, the guy didn't want to go to practice. Think he's gonna fucking want to coach?
Recruit? Could you imagine AI?
No.
AI just does one recruiting cycle for Pat Ewing.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. Like everyone's like, oh, let's hire a guy who went here. Patrick, he's the one. The only reason he's not being fired. Any other coach would be fired. It's just he's not being fired because he's Patrick Ewing. It's just it.
Do you remember? Did you guys see the dunk from the game?
Big man, I would still appreciate him being. Like that's a big reason why I chose Jawan. I mean, Jawan, his prime was like when he played with the Bullets. He played with the Bullets like 96, right? He got drafted in 94.
Yeah.
So his prime was like.
That's actually a fact.
94.
Really? Yeah. Because,
nice. So he I mean, like his peak was probably like in the thousands. And so it's like I don't really like when I remember watching Juwan when he was like with the Heat when he wasn't really playing that much, but like as a big man, I really gravitated towards him because it's like if he played so long in the NBA, obviously he was doing something right. And
Yeah,
for me,
but I think Jawan has also proved himself, or I think already that he's a good coach. Like Georgetown has been horrible. Like there is no reason for anyone to be like, I want to go to Georgetown. Georgetown, I will wish Georgetown's good. They're a cool school to be. When they're good, it's a cool thing to have. It's like good for basketball, but they're dog shit. Yeah, show the dunk. That dunk was fucking crazy. You see this, Hunter?
Also, really quick, the when you guys were talking about Juwan on the Heat, I think like I was like in like 8th grade and the Fab Five came out, and I remember like watching it, being, wow, the Fab Five was so sick, and then watching like the Heat finals and being like, wait, that motherfucker is still in the NBA. Like talking about like Juwan's like last year, but yeah, this is Brandon Murray, the dunk. It was fucking insane, Hunter.
I saw that. You know, oh my gosh,
Put it on. I want to see it again.
he murdered the dude.
So watch the YouTube.
Trying to get it into Wahab instead. Cross-court pass. Murray with an open lane. Oh, put it on a poster.
That is a poster, no question.
I don't know why the guy tried. I don't know why he tried to take that charge. You were not close to being out of the circle.
Can you
Dude,
try and play it again? Yeah.
you know,
Bro,
fine.
that is
Oh
my
God.
He was close.
That is like, dude, you have to like almost just leave after that.
He's the LSU kid, right?
It's way better to get dunked on. Yeah. He went to LSU. It's way better to get dunked on and just to keep playing, like because then it's like, okay, let's get the ball out, go on offense. Maybe they'll forget. When you get dunked on, it's like an and one like that, and there's like a 20-second pause. It's just like it's just bad.
Yeah,
'cause
it's brutal.
you got teammates trying to come over and like console you, like, man, forget it. But it's like they were probably like, oh damn, too. So it's like, oh, it's just
Yeah.
it's rough.
You know what's a
But, I
weird
mean-
storyline? Is the Qudus Wahab shit, because I heard Qudus Wahab in that clip, like the fact that he went to Maryland and then back.
Yeah. I don't know how they pulled that off with going from Georgetown to Maryland, which was already like, I think he got a lot of hate for that. Like, I think he caught a lot of flack for like you could go anywhere, but you chose to go like right down the street.
Yeah.
To go right back the next year that's poor. Like, I don't think you get more bizarre than that.
One of my Final Four teams is in shambles. Illinois.
Ooh.
Illinois is in shambles. Northwestern. This is just giving the Big Ten, making it deeper, but they beat Illinois by 13 tonight. Bad, man. Terrence Shannon Jr. played bad. He had 9 points. Matthew Myers, only good thing from Illinois. Everyone after that, horrible. So is Sky Clark just not good? Is he not playing well? He had 2 points tonight, played 20 minutes, but I thought he was supposed to be like their guy.
Again, I really don't watch too much Illinois basketball because the Terrence Shannon thing just does hurt. Like, I watched after our game, it was on the TV, like in the meeting room with the families and stuff. So I was watching a little bit, and they actually gave Terrence Shannon a flagrant foul, which I thought he was going for the ball. I didn't really agree with that flagrant foul call.
He's still recruiting him.
Yeah, he's still trying to get him there.
Oh, I mean, no, we still communicate.
Yeah, you better have him on when you play Illinois.
Yeah, but what was I going with this Illinois thing?
Sky Clark.
Oh yeah, no, I don't really watch too much of Illinois basketball because of the Terrence Shannon thing. But I will say about Northwestern, they're no longer a team that you can just check off. They are no longer this team. I'm happy for Coach Collins because trying to recruit to Northwestern has got to be impossible. Like, it's got to be impossible to try to recruit to Northwestern just because of their academic stance alone. But he's got that program turned around, and they're you don't want to go into nobody wants to go into Northwestern right now and trying to have to get a win after them.
No, it's cold.
I think they're.
I mean, hey, the Big Ten is cold everywhere.
Yeah.
Except for Maryland. Maryland, you get all 4 seasons, so it's cold there too. But Wisconsin, when you go to Wisconsin, bro, it's like I remember my freshman year, it was like -7. And then like last year it was like 0. It's Big Ten weather, baby.
Let's go through a couple more games. Kansas beat Texas Tech. That was an insane game. Kansas is fucking so good. It's so annoying that they won last year, and they're just so good again. Jalen Wilson, I don't know, I feel like he's been in the league for a while now, but he's unreal. Kansas State with a ginormous win over Texas, 116 points. There was no defense being played in that game. And honestly, like, to bring up like this again, everyone, I hope this is just a big thing that's happening right now, obviously, because of the Bills game. We hope he's okay, 100%. That's the scariest thing in the world. But Keontae Johnson literally collapsed on the court, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
2 years ago. And just transferred to Kansas State and is absolutely dominant. 38 minutes, 28 points. Like, good for him. Good for him to just all of a sudden, because he was awesome in Florida, and he's transfers and obviously one of the scariest things that happen on the court. And he fucking is killing it. So Kansas State, a hell of a win. Wisconsin barely beat Minnesota.
Wisconsin's not that good.
No, they're not. I don't think Wisconsin's very good.
But what they are is, in my opinion, again, a tournament team, which, like, that's what Wisconsin will do even on a down year. Like, I think Ball's good, but, like, in a down year, Wisconsin will still make the tournament.
Yeah.
Consistent.
And that's really it. We've gone through – this is the most I think we've ever have fucking talked about other games. But and Louisville almost beat Syracuse.
Yeah, man, they're not giving up on the season, man. They're fighting.
Yeah,
they're like 2-9 now. We're 2-8. One of the two, but they are fighting, man. They're scratching and clawing. They're doing whatever. They're trying to hit that 4 wins for the season.
Yeah.
Do you want to see the Boeheim video?
The Boeheim video was weird.
Do you want to see it, Hunter? It's quick. It's pretty funny.
No, you could. Yeah, it's not bad.
All right.
Let me just download it really quick.
All right, I hope this isn't too bad.
No, it's not.
No.
It's weird. This is basketball stuff. We're not doing it. Don't worry, Hunter.
Dude, this is just a couple guys talking ball.
Yeah. We are PC. We're a PC podcast on coaches now.
We would never trap you like that.
I'm glad you guys are on your behavior now.
I know it probably sounds stupid to say this, but I think Louisville's going to win some games. I think Ellis is really good. I think their big guys are okay. I think James.
Pause it real quick.
To me, I mean, they're going to make.
Just even like the big guys they're okay.
I'm just seeing the BS through.
Yeah, it's like because you almost just lost to Louisville, one of the worst teams in the country right now.
They'll win some games.
They'll win some games. Ellis is good. Yeah, their best player is good for sure. The rest of the team is horrible. But keep going.
Mistakes, and that's how you probably do lose. I watched them play early in the year. First of all, they lost. Those teams are good, even though
they're not good.
They're not good at all. Did Syracuse lose to some of them? Is that why he's saying it?
Brian, it's like he's just covering his ass to be like, guys, the fucking competition we play nowadays
is good. It's like, no, they're not good.
I mean, Bellarmine.
They ain't good. They ain't good.
Bellarmine is
good coach, well coached.
6-9.
Well coached, not a good team.
It's almost like a Central Michigan.
They're not well-known teams. The teams they lost to, they kept losing by 1 or 2. You can lose to those teams, especially when you're struggling. But
he would know.
No, I don't think they're that bad. Maybe, and I hope they aren't.
This is a weird interview.
No, I don't think they're that bad. Maybe, and I hope they aren't.
This is a guy that's got to hang it up.
I think he was just trying to give some credit and respect to Louisville
because they almost lost.
And it's pretty hard to do So it's like it's just gonna come off like he just isn't like he likes.
There's a different way to talk about a team not being bad than the way he just did.
Yeah, like, I feel like you can be like, yeah, man, they're a gritty team. They're scratching and clawing. They're
Exactly.
doing
To say they're big man, they're okay is like,
Yeah.
what, dude?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you don't even have to say that. It just makes the big man now feel bad. It's like you're gonna
Yeah,
talk, you're gonna
as a
talk
Louisville
shit,
big fan,
shit, but yeah.
I feel like okay.
All right, that's the show. We will be back. We're gonna try and do a Saturday 20-minute episode with Hunter after the game so we get his immediate reaction. Before we go, Hunter, do you have anything to say for Saturday?
Man, I am very excited. This is one of the games that you circle on the schedule once it comes out because you know it's just going to be. I mean, it's going to be a battle. Like it's going to be two teams that are going to try to beat the crap out of each other on the court, and it's just going to be. It's going to be. I mean,
are you ready to take the hate?
Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, it's not really going to bother me because it's like, again, how bad can it be than last year? Like it really like, I mean, maybe I just hope they have some funny signs. I hope like if you're, I mean, I don't think any Michigan State fans really watch the full podcast, but at least just bring a funny sign, maybe. Like, don't do the old Hunter all white and gray. Don't do that one. That one will not make me laugh. I'm just gonna look at you funny, but I'm excited, man. They've been playing good, so I'm excited just to go out there and play the sport I love, man. Can't wait.
All right, I can't wait either. I'm excited for it. Biggest Michigan State fan ever. Duke says go Sparty. I'm on Hunter's
switched
side.
up on me, man. Dukes has switched up on me.
I'll keep gargling for Hunter. Let's get a W Saturday against Boston College because that's what I'm going to be worried about on Saturday. All right, that's the show. We'll be back probably Saturday and Monday. We'll talk to you soon.